Good evening, everybody. It's Natasha from Bagida'waad. Welcome to another language class with Ron and Janet and Marie and Trisha. Thank you. You guys are super small on this little tiny screen. I hope everybody's had a really good long weekend. I know hours went by really quickly, but we did a shoreline cleanup and it was really good to be out and about and doing something good for the environment. But I hope you guys enjoy the evening, and I'll hand it over to Ron. McRitch.
Aha, bonjour, good to get me now. I've been in there. It's about program. Apsana, look, you should end. Nee, yogish could on Mishkut, but I mean, medical king ceremonies are among square what a chip up. How big is it going to bombas for the Gishput on you? Mishkut. Sure, big is it bombas young back and for up to the got very dusty. So I stopped for a break. I'll be up at us myself with the game all. Was walk at this and up at again. Then I don't get energy. Dog with one will skick it. Now, was chair go. Oh, so you stand, give you need question go down to the bombers. Walk poke in all you. And dog, what are you doing? Oh, yeah, miss. You could have shown Bendai. Gosh, yes, you skis on show near. Well, we're skis good. You always yet, gosh, and then.
Spend that.
Go get me, go exhibit, yeah. You know, this sort of near and mirror. Get there, good near. My face is all black. One thing I saw with my eyes and my teeth. And we end up what you? Oh, that's it's you start when you bobbing chicken. You have to open you upscoving. The one day get no the bob top norman. Bobbing chicken and all the one. Me again, gosh, yeah, no. I apologize to the cat. You say, well, up to the potatoes. Mon pire mandat, ganin more we matched up with what's there.
Honey, Bojo, what's the average cost? Mein gun do then. So again, squinch skinning, don't you?
Man, Diane, all
that. So we're into a brand new month, corn moon, Damen Gizes. So it's the second day, Nish Gish Gut Nungo, 2022, Nijing Midostik, Ishtana Shanish. That's getting nighttime, 8 p.m. start. So welcome everybody, and we'll see where tonight takes us. Let's start off with a smudge. Oh, I wanted to show you a picture of our beautiful corn. Not quite ready yet, but coming.
Oh.
Regrets.
Audrey, give it watch man, okay. Friday morning, give it a watch. No, try and get the budget on his webbook. One of the webbook on the king. Extendem, Janet, yeah, Martin, the sister man. No, kujing magin nam the be. Kagi kenzin the wish ko woman gay, you know. We have keep scabby sagging the king shop toward the village. And then she saw my tractor and we pulled it. She went down and was get a shing on. No.
Yeah, it was nice to see Audrey. So hopefully she went back home yesterday, so hopefully she's tuning in tonight. So how are we? How am I? Got a little cheat sheet here. When you say a little bit sad, Nisa Dindon. Is that Nisa Dindon?
Yeah.
To see her leave. Yeah, it's always nice when she comes because we get to share and catch up on everything. And yeah, her visits are few and far between. So I really appreciate her when she comes around. Right now, I'm a little bit, what would you say? A little bit tired. Cos'è? Cos'è?
Diakos.
Diakos?
Yeah, because
Yeah. And also happy. So get your name them. And I'm not Skådse. Okay, Murray.
Mary Makas, Mary Mesa. I'm doing the minute about my key garden. Pagi maganda skades. Kadang dia pernah nak siap. But I guess I have to be patient and allow it to run its course. Yeah, I mean, because I'm Tapos, pagi ko na tapos. I was gonna basically switch 3 days tapos. When the doctor I have is on holiday, can I schedule talk about all my the ones I've been relying on for my myositis. My bones are sore, and he even took me off the prednisone because the prednisone weakens the bones too, I guess. But he's been weaning me off that, but he left at a bad time. I can't even phone him about how I'm feeling. Kind of, I can't sleep at night, and because no matter how I sleep on the side or on my back, my bones still ache. So somebody was mentioning I may have arthritis now, but I've never had arthritis. I think it's because I'm going for the drip tomorrow, so I should be okay. I hope. Anyway, what's going on with me right now? You good? Lori Quinta. Happy guy.
Oh, okay. Anishinaabemowin.
Anissa.
Je bent again, Oji Kujingi Awak. Oji or Shak.
Oh,
Je bent Ashman P. Midbemen. Bindik. Okay. Wabgini Kwandish Nakas. Lori Kwekam. Sagin Manpinondaris. Anishinagini Ayawian. Chinandam. Kainibna Nungo Optigi Jichka Sigego. Giveawad where no shem nang Kobe Shikazat. Nonga, Nishkibaya Mampi. Chinenda Mampi Biat. Bandachika. Jabaman P. Yayang. Oder Wigwam as a yacht. How do you say that? Building the house.
Is het correct?
Yeah,
Is het correct?
I should got deck.
What?
Wam is got deck. Heather give your shaman or the mom the mammon. Wish you Daban gi. Give much to see. Wish we are give ya in the mom and we are maybe what ma. Wish give another magamon. Give another mag gomen. Wish. Yeah, this examine gishpen we can't think of how to say it, that we would be late coming on, but we made it. So we're Michelle, what was my nunga giwab ma shamge binde korenda gi nap mish minwa gibiawat baby suck. Wabosan suck minwa yawak non 5 babies. Mishki abdek minwa Swifty. Mishkajichigain minwa. Mish had to put him in his own little wigwam mess now. He's on our deck. We have to separate him. He's too much love going on, Kujin. We're Wabo zo misho miss no miss minwa ya I'll make
Never to get more than it quality.
yeah Wabos yeah
Wat kon je knieën die op maar met de nam de wat tot en in daar. Chicken.
oh
Babos and Baba Khan. Oh,
I'm just like cheese.
No, I think Jim's going to say something.
Okay. Jim.
me?
Ja.
Hoe zou een kaas zal je dan te bouwen en dan daarom. Peanuts. Tonight, you know this. No. Peanuts. No, nothing on my mind. That's about as far as I can go language-wise. No words here and there, but mostly the English language. Yeah, very quiet, very quiet. Not much on the mind. Kind of sucked a bit and just taking things moment by moment. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm starting to really feel at ease with myself and letting everything go. And, but feels awfully different. Another last week would kind of set the tone for a change in me was got my hearing checked last night and losing my hearing. So I got some hearing aids coming. Not going deaf, but just age-wise, time. And as we get older, you know, things start not working as good. I kind of felt a little sad after that. I'm starting to see that I'm in that time of life now where you say, just starting that twilight of time in my life, and realizing that it's different. So trying to put things more into not stressing about things anymore, just accepting things the way they are. Finding a little bit of peace in myself. But that's life, eh? That's life. So past week, coming to terms with where I am and who I am, where I am in life, and the acceptance of that, and acknowledgement. Oh, feeling good, feeling okay. More at peace. That's about it, how I've been feeling. I was feeling pretty good.
Be wet.
Natasha, tak kuidagi mogi. Anishinaabemowin, Natasha. Pomashe.
Honey. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know too much. I don't know any of the language. So how am I feeling? Good. Things are falling into place, and I like that. I like when things that are up in the air finally fall where they're supposed to fall, and plans get made, and able to set dates and times and places. And I like order. I'm not very good with chaos, so I do enjoy to know where I'm going to be and what needs to be done to get there. So it feels good, and it feels good at watching my chickens that had babies a couple weeks ago. That surprised me. Have now the last 2 days have taken the chicks outside and are teaching them how to scratch around outside. So it's like so super cute to watch these little tiny puffballs they're more leg than anything, scratching amongst the thistles and reeds and what have you, and in with the goats, the female goats. They were also in with the female goats, hopping around and running around the goats with them this afternoon, and squeaking and peeping and carrying on, and then watching mums shooing them around, and then also calling them back inside for nighttime tonight, which was like super cute. So that's why I was delayed. I was enjoying watching 4 moms escort 3 chicks into the barn tonight. So it was a lot of fun. So this makes me thankful and reminds me of, the important roles of role models and mothers and fathers and everybody chipping in to watch over the little ones. Me, Gretch.
Be wet.
Vill man den ordla?
Ani Bojo, the Darwin Choir Dishnakas Sagin Dunjaba, Magazi Dora. I guess Nimanor Bamadswin. That's how you say that, right? Living a good life.
Never mind.
So trying my best anyway, and it's as good as it gets, right? What's the word for tired again, Jen?
Jäkkus.
Yeah, it's been a long day, felt like Monday, but it's Tuesday. But getting through it. We went.
Oh, yes. So the 9th moon, Nomen Gizis, or the corn moon, we learn about the cycle of life. Each cob of corn has 13 rows of multicolored seeds, which represent all the spirits waiting to begin their earth walk. No, this, from the calendar, 13 Moons Teacher's Guide. So we prepare for these ones. So I thought, because it's gardening and corn is just about ready around here anyway. I know we can buy it in the stores, but what's ready to eat now in the Gittigan?
Okay, yeah.
So we have partially ripe tomatoes. And we like to just fry those ones up. So even though they're not ripe, they're still good. Put them in a pan with some butter. Yeah, it's really good. So the word for tomato, open. Is it chigon?
Open.
Chigon? And then there's Jiminan. Jiminan? Nij Jiman. Jiminan. Oh, thick tongue or what? But yeah, these are small, but we got those from our little garden. There's a little bowl here. And they're actually good to eat right from the garden.
Wish bezok, eh?
Wiesbezoek. Hmm.
You're sweet.
Oh, okay. So they're sweet Wiesbezoek. Then right now, that's all we've got in our garden that's ready. Some lettuce, but I don't know how to say lettuce.
Neither.
So we'll just leave that go. The berries, looking around when we're cutting grass in the back 40, the blackberries, they're not ready yet either. They're really dry and hard. It must be the weather.
Mhm. Там боттенгото не типо тиш возгиани. Чекана боттенгот не пке. Кно го боттенгот. Be careful. When you make a fire, they're so dry. So watch out.
Oh, very dry. Oh. Then the first topic. If anybody has anything else that doesn't have to be in a garden, maybe you're out foraging for something that's ready to eat. Oh.
Pinong go kibis niya. Yona den nibishan mina how do you say tomato again? These were gotchi organ. The mini tomato. Yeah. Or the Giminga from the Taganing, the community garden. So I went and picked some up at the food bank. Mishki, we had included it as part of our salad for dinner. Yeah, chicken.
Almost time for governor sauce too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Fried green tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Then go ahead.
No, I was going to say something else, but I can't remember what I was going to say. I lost it.
Sorry about that.
No, it wasn't. But I was just lost in my thoughts as I was talking. That's right. Yeah.
What?
What?
No, we're picking up in the background. Yeah, your voice is distorted.
There's
There's
an
some
Amber
sound in the background.
a little girl missing in Stratford, 11 years old.
Oh, you start.
It sounds to me like someone has a TV on in the background.
That's why I bet you don't.
The noisemaker.
Use that remote, put off.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Huh?
it's clear now, eh?
Yeah, it's clear now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Can you stand the lorry?
What? Yep.
Can you stand?
Yeah.
Oh. Kevin, we get number.
I was just thinking about what in the pickle on the cucumbers. They wouldn't do that. They're just tiny, eh? Are they?
Yeah.
They're good for pickling though, eh? One of those little ones. My grandfather used to grow them, eh? To a certain spot like that, and he bagged them. Then he'd take them to the train when we used to have a train in Southampton, and it was Dix that used to buy them. Those little wee cucumbers. He'd have a whole field of them, and he'd bag those and take them to the train station, and that's who would buy them. Dix pickles. So they've been around for quite a while.
Yeah. Big name.
Big name, yeah.
Yeah.
And we had corn. We went and bought some. She did, and we bought corn on the cob. We're looking all over the store for them.
With fresh corn.
Yeah, fresh corn. We were laughing because everybody was crunchy.
And they came from the States, which was surprising.
Yeah.
So all their good food is coming to Canada and
Mhm.
that free trade stuff, right?
Yeah. I noticed on the news that the first grain shipment left Ukraine, eh? That was nice to hear that. And they're still farming over there. There's a war going on. They're still growing
Yeah.
wheat and grains and that. Life goes on, like Lori says. Where's it? The other baby. Like that. Yeah, I was just thinking about that, what was in the garden at the garden. It's something I miss about living at the elders. I'd like to have a community garden, we used to be able to have that. We don't have that anymore. Lori's garden used to be just by the health center. Yeah. Well, it's nice to go and see it, the little green things coming out and getting bigger and bigger. The corn. Which,
So much healing comes from working with the land too. The connection and the understanding of what plants work with each other. Unfortunately, I'm stuck in an office all day, but we got a crew out there in garden right now that's in Scott Settlement. So I often wonder about our clients that are working out there and how they're doing. I know they're working hard and the gardens look fabulous to my understanding. I haven't been able to go out there and look, but everybody's been complimenting Tina on how well her garden is well kept and how big the plants are growing. So they must be doing a fabulous job. So proud of them. But yeah, it'd be nice to have that little bit of time to be able to do your own garden and have that connection to the land, and because plants are great teachers.
Like these cobs of corn. I've never really noticed, but they say there's 13 rows all the way around. And according to this teaching, with the multicolored seeds, it represents all the spirits waiting to begin their walk, their earth walk. So next time we look at corn, we'll be looking at it with a different view. Yeah. So what do you think of life and how we prepare for life? Well, gardens and then storing food, preparing, just like prepare for new life. The circle of life, baby is, Benoji is. from 0 to 7. That's just like when you plant everything in there that they need.
Mhm.
They just soak everything up, all the knowledge. Hopefully, we can provide as much experience as good things, put that in their life. Because they're also teaching us. And a child, another 7 years, Benoji. Little child. When they start questioning, and their own mind is developing, and they start asking questions.
Mhm.
Now, the word for teenager,
Skinwhack.
What is it?
Or skinny qua. It all depends what gender you're speaking.
Yeah.
Can be our lady skinny qua or skinny. I guess, eh? Skinny.
Ishkini.
Ishkini,
Eshkenijik.
A skinny chick is, yeah, together.
Okay, Eshkenijik.
Yeah, skinny chick.
Ishkini,
And then Eshkeni.
Mhm.
Skinawag, young man. Skinawag. How did you say name, young woman?
Skinny qua.
Skinny.
And then there's a time when everybody goes through this. It's a wandering life. Bagida'waad, is it?
Bagida'waad,
Bagida'waad.
I,
Yeah. When everybody is experimenting and finding out, testing their wings, trying to decide who they are, what they are, where they're going to be, what they're going to do. Some of the worst troubling times too. And when we pass through that phase and we kind of mature to and then the elders, no, the grandparents, Mashomas, Nokmas, getting into that teaching, everything, giving back. The elder. No, there might be other words for Anishinaabe that means elder.
Mhm. Ik het stoutsdik.
Get,
Ik het stoutsdik.
I get,
Yeah, just look at the elders building, that word that's up there. Ik het stoutsdik. No,
Engaged with
it's supposed to get dik.
and to me, that's when we're looking at the age, but sometimes we have young people that have teachings that are very significant. So if we don't put the age to it, ekendasjik would be those ones that carry knowledge.
and Kendastik. Yeah, because there's always a conversation about, well, are you 55 or are you 65? Are you an elder or? But with that isn't, as long as you're recognized in the community or maybe even further for your wisdom and your knowledge, your life experience.
Ik heb nu doen. Ik ken. Want nee, want ik kan de budgeting man. Nee, want ik gooi de morgen maar ook al kan het niet naar binnen kijken. Nog geen jaar, ben ook even naar poes. Dus ik had het al. Min dat zit. Nu ben ik een sching maar mee, checken op. Genoeg mee, ook genoeg mee. Nu weer bak het. We kunnen het zo bijna weer. Maar we gaan het sching. Nee, keep music as it. Nu gaat het gaan aan dan tot in een wet. Kijk het. Toen we de maken kijk het wat non wat. Nu gaan aan dan in de bak kin zitten one. Een pinon. Kijk het question. Met de show is gewoon pomotet. Maar we kunnen het zo. Ik schet ook met masset. Mio, mi più ken dan iemand. Mi which win. Nee, mi so de tas worden bij het. 그냥 뭐 답나 뭐 위치 바꿔 위심만 도도면 되는 게 terrible twos man dus kan ingot 앞쪽에요 가이단 치오 세요 비노지스 together 뭐네 그다음 킹이 다자 맥심이 같잖아 그 마음이 관 at this time they don't know no selfishness they're very kind they'll share anything even the me jemetten 거 저거 좀 나쁘다니요 미국에 좀 이기는 거예요 그놈이 Schwarz-Wien koeisne. Abterna boakokio. Knoziak. Mi de shio manda ni skin way in. Mio pican man ni sa. Kio comment ni todo no tede. Abterna ni kid wushme ko kenda no ken mo. Men dan yo skin way. Mi sege Pranki kauden. Kan je Bobby Chegesi. You get the wind bow up. Ab de kan chiwakio ne janakio ne one. Mio man the me the short day or bit of on peel or the wandering. Kidding go to go by now book. Not will walk it to know. Cigarettes go but up now. So could you what? Or you go and you marijuana you thing and you get up the mat you. Could you turn out? Drugs you go, could you turn out? Check it out. Can you go to could you turn out? You should go bump yourself here. You got the king the show. Pandom done all when it's from pig come on. When it's from pig what up no me nu dot yeah. Me the shorter near as a go, me the question not the manda.
Oh dear. That's quite a way to be frozen.
Crashed it.
Oh, quite pandom matnin. When one occasion. Me and dom me amo to the game gave but no jeez we all we tengo com pigi masem pisa meu acho bonito uma coca sweat uma coca me segui o que não maga de god que não magin que manos tinha ni gan so me deixou de acho o vamos ficar no me estava Winston opscano que não bedoel Between opscano Winston me on the fourth door kan en met de question no the king when he win monsieur ken me ken motke ken give myself you my one you my one you the go is gestioning you my one you the with the get what ja my one pin school my chiska is some bit of snort you want the motke Tuna walk all QP Monik. Kinga. Miseo Mamba, we equal Anishma P. Will much that Mabni, elder we are with Pojumagazuta. Give it one, Mama. Terrible too is long, bad beast. Penalties. Chibakwe. Ken Dang you near. Kicking one begin you kick the game. Missy, watch to get you wishing me up with me with one. Walk our war. Ken Dang was me with. You go, where's your Kentamini? Sagetable. And even respect, humility. You can what you can. Yes, will give much time to love and knowledge. Much time to go making the boy good to go. Yeah, keep on. Not pitching a good and limit the question not any. Skin away in. Not pitching who walk mark with the skin away by skinny qua, maybe not skinny, no. What Nick King,
Yeah.
come to God's what. Me is come to God's what near. Oh, we need guns, oh, man, Pio, Pinigan, Piskunganing. We give more walk here. Me is a bako, and the king. Me just your knee, me some stuck keen on, not can walk more. You must pay more. We did get, oh, give my walk. Well, man, me, okay, can no win. Counselors, the leaders. I don't usually call our counselors, I call them leaders. They're the ones that's supposed to know the knowledge and the wisdom that's out there. So our children don't get hurt. So our passage is good for our teenagers. And things that go on in the community, the elders, they keep an eye on that. Anybody that comes in, goes out, somebody that doesn't belong here, they know that. They go no, they know done, they dump. Can walk, wash the binge walk because you ever know, walk, you know, when the garbage must be something. I come to Goddess, no, you come to Goddess, we can all we shouldn't get stuck, yeah. Aber det kom again. Me just shouldn't. Oh, 4 years ago, I guess now. Kuno na no company ni gindamak. I'll be go get it up. I need to get mommy elders or counselors to sign the papers first so we can come. They said, oh, okay. Mr. Give it more value. Kai Zinigan Gimon go see. Me as well need that time went past. We spent 2 years ago, he could have woke me now. 5 years he got up. And 4 years ago, they knew that they could have came there. We wouldn't be in the trouble that we're in now. That's too bad. That a lot of things like, you know, keep shock. We know doesn't or we got no pressure on Pinavo. Kai was second skittle snow, we're going to want them what Mopiating Umpket. Pizagi now is the coming book. When our neighbors took what mine or the indulge it. Not gonna go on the king. Me on pure, I got off topic Monday. Mish, that's the teachings of our lives. Jimmy, what's your any looking on you? Mobile, I can walk up, mobile quick, we get on the mobile Maria up in Piniga. Mobile lorry here, up to the block open, mobile quilk. Guy up Joe, buy a silk mopin in the walk. Skitosino, we will numb the what mopi beside the no quilk. Skitosino, are you? Up to the cut and move, not gonna be up to your own bush oak. Me or the king was another modding, Nigan the king with a shine. Up the deck another wine, Mupi, numb the object can go over the object in Dodgic. Kai got the basic can go. Mupi, Zinigan, Mupi, give me woman. Well, I think we'll take turns talking about these things when people too much stuff.
What I thought was the storytelling part. Marie, did you have anything? If you weren't, then Paul B, are you an artist? Can you tell a story just drawing it real quick?
Sometimes, depending on what story you're asking.
Anything.
Anything?
Could be anything. If you put enough little, okay, all right. And bring that up a little closer so hopefully people can see.
Lori, did you have something?
Yeah, Jim.
Jim?
Little bit of sharing here, little cultural knowledge.
So we-
Story I'll share is about that
What's
So-
that?
cycle of life that we're discussing here. Maybe some healing involved.
Could say something.
Medicine wheel. That red, yellow, black and white. That journey around that circle, that from first starting being born, and that walk up to that northern doorway, what we all take, those steps in our life. 0 to 7, those young children, they're just beginning to walk. They're beginning to crawl around, beginning to get into things, starting to run, stand up, run around. That age between 0 and 7, where they're so pure and innocent. And that is a critical part in our life, in our upbringing. Residential schools, day schools, little ones getting strapped, getting reprimanded for doing normal things. Wasn't their fault. That age from 0 to 7. It's that Anishinaabemowin teaching. It's part of that walk. From that 8 years old till 24 years of age, you take that next step in that walk in that circle. It's like that, from that 8 years of age, you're starting to see more, you're starting to listen more, you're starting to do more. You're starting to watch the teenagers and what they do, your older sisters, your older brothers, your mom and dad smoking, drinking, or anything like that. They're becoming aware of that. And that cycle where we're in between that age, we're starting to develop those adult feelings. We're starting to think, we're starting to rebel, we're starting to test our parents, we're starting to test life. We're checking all those things out. We get into trouble. They say we're getting into trouble, but it's just a time of experiment, whatever it is. First shot of alcohol, first time getting sick, first time lighting a cigarette, coughing away, amongst other things, doing what our peers do, because we're learning. We're seeing what those adults do, so we're trying it. So we fight our parents because we see them putting down rules, and we don't want to listen to those rules because we're starting to grow, we're starting to feel, we're starting to think for ourselves. We're becoming an adult. So are we really responsible for ourselves when we're in that age? We really don't know between right and wrong yet, but we think there's something out there that, yeah, it might be wrong, but I'm going to try it anyways. So we get into that phase. That's when our adult feelings start to come out. Anger, sadness, love. We start to fall in love with another person. We're getting to think and act like an adult, but we don't understand those things yet. They're all new life experiences to us. But automatically we start labeling them and say we're troubled or bad. You're a problem kid. Maybe it's more, we need to talk to them a little more about that right and wrong and what those consequences could be. So again, are we really responsible? Just like, do we hold those little children responsible from 0 to 7 for the things they do and hold it against them? Or do we try and work with them? Because they're only acting as the way Creator gave each and every one of us how to start growing each and every one of us go through those same phases. So from that 8 years old to 22, now that 22 years of age, we start looking around and becoming more responsible. We say, hey, maybe I should get a job, get that money, building a house for my partner. We start looking at those things and start doing what adults are supposed to do, but we're new and we're young at it again. So we're starting to grow. We're starting to learn all over again, but we're doing adult things. We're learning how to going to college, university, going to trade school, whatever. We're still learning in that process. And that's when we first start having our children and starting that cycle all over again. The same thing that we went through. In that age, we start again developing that family bond. And then again, even marriage, raising babies. There's no book on how to do those things. We have to learn it ourselves and go through that process. So that's the time they say we shouldn't really start picking up pipes at that age, because those pipes and those drums and rattles and all that will be taking you away from your family, your loved ones, and raising your children. So in that time, from about 22 to 44, we become that young adult. And then we become from that 0 to around 44, we're in that prime of our life. We're all the hunters and gatherers and supposed to be taking care of the elders and all that stuff. And because we're at our maximum strength and ability. Now comes along to that year 44. So we're heading into that elder stage. And that from that 44 to around 50 to 60 years of age, that's when we can start really putting into a full effect our knowledge from what we have learned beforehand and giving it down to others, of using that pipe and that drum, those fires, those lodges, because we have that knowledge being passed down before our fathers that did that before us. So we get into what I just talked about myself, of coming into that. Yeah, there is no age limit on that. You could be around 50, 55, but around that age, and like I said, going into that twilight years, I've now accepted that new part in my life, where now I'm looking at putting away all these things that once bothered me and living the life the best I can. I've decided not to hear about politics anymore, anything that goes on in the band office anymore, because they never done a damn thing for me all these years and left out. So why should I worry about them? They don't do nothing for me. They don't even care about us everyday people out here. So it's just going to turn into the same thing it does every year, non-caring about the people in this community.
Hey,
So
Jim, you want to go on the political side of things?
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I'm letting everything go like that. Now I'm just becoming a more easygoing person, putting all that other stuff away. That's what I was getting at, that later part of life where we start slowing down a bit. So it's just that one thing there that I know this is all coming up here and I want to get away from it because it makes me sick. So that's what I was getting at, that I don't want sickness anymore. I want health and well-being and good people, and just start to live. That's where I was getting at. And that part of that cycle, it's in every one of us, you know, just trying to make it to the next portion of life, and to make it as best we can to be good people and live in a good way. So many other stuff like that I've turned my back on too. So that's what I'm talking about now. I see this new part in my life where I just want to be happy and, you know, live a not worry so about other things that I can't control. And so, but again, that's in each and every one of us, you know, that we all do that same walk through life. Start to the day we leave this earth. So yeah, we all went through that stuff. So that's why we look back sometimes and are really hard on ourselves. We shouldn't be, because you know we were learning at the time and made mistakes. Forgiveness and love, kindness. I was wrong, and I'd like to start sharing more wellness and goodness with people now, and that's about it, you know. And that business up the hill, that's hers. I don't want it anymore. That's all I was saying. And amongst other things, I got my health to worry about. That's more important. And again, good people. That's part of that walk, that circle of life, or that medicine hoop. That's all our journey to make it to that next place. Now, understanding a little bit about that, so that, you know, make much for that, but you know, all that hurt we went through when we were young, the 0 to 7 and stuff, it wasn't our fault. Don't feel bad about it. No, you know, forgiveness or whatever. Those teenage years when we acted up, everybody goes through that. It's all right. It's okay. Making mistakes. So even on that 20th adult year, all made mistakes and learning, eh? Learning throughout these steps till you get that ultimate, most of that knowledge that you can pass down to others. That's just the way I see that walk. Kindness, being kind, loving people. Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Made me think of a story. Thanks, Jim. Miigwech. Story is actually from the Red Path. The stories that they share with their clients. The story is called The Buzzard. I know my mom remembers it, and probably Janet. But the story starts off with creators start to give animals their clothing, like the bears, their fur, the rabbits, their fur, and just different animals as he's going along. And the birds are watching him doing all this, right? And they're saying, hey, he's forgetting about us, because every little animal, every little insect was getting their colors and whatnot. And they had a council meeting, and they were saying, well, who can we appoint to go and speak on our behalf? Because it'd be nice to get clothing. So the eagle, they said, how about you, Eagle? And Eagle says, no, I got my business here. I have to make sure everything is done in a proper order. So they're trying to appoint each other, and then somebody looks towards Buzzard, and they said, how about you, Buzzard? And he goes, oh, that's such an honor. Okay, I'll do it. So he flies up next day up to the creator, and he says, hey, we had a meeting, and we noticed that you were giving everybody their clothing. We would like some clothing too. So the creator goes, oh, okay. Give me 4 days and then come back. So Buzzard goes flying back, and I got the creator, and he said he's gonna just give him 4 days and I have to go back. So they said, okay. So he goes back after the 4th day, and creator says, I got all these clothing, it's all on racks. So Buzzard, and he goes, because you came to me first, Buzzard, you get first dibs on whatever clothing is on those racks. You can pick whatever beautiful feathers you want. So of course, Buzzard, he goes, but just to let you know, when you try it on and you decide that's the one that you want, you keep it. But if you take it off, it'll fall to the ground for the next bird to come along and pick it up. So of course, okay. So Buzzard was feeling really oh, all right, I get to pick the best outfit ever, right? So, of course, he started to try on this one with the white head and beautiful black and white feathers, right? And he says, no, it's beautiful, but it's not colorful enough. So he takes it off and he drops it. And Eagle sees it come flying down, so he goes and grabs it. So Eagle has his colors now. So he went on to going on to other outfits and whatnot, right? There was one that was lightning colors, but it seemed like it was very small, so he let it fall to the ground, and the hummingbird come along and grabbed it, and that's how the hummingbird came to be, with those beautiful lightning colors. But as it was going on and on, every outfit was falling because he thought there was going to be a better one for him. And then he realized towards the end there was only one outfit. When he tried it on, maybe I'll show you on the what you got. Tried it on, and his knobby knees and his little feet were sticking out. And then the feathers would fly up along his thighs. And he'd have feathers along here with nice feathers on his wings, right? But as he put the hood up, all he had was a little bit of feathers on top, and he was balled up on top, right, like that, right? And feathers around his neck. And he's thinking, oh no, this is the last outfit, and I have to go home looking like this. And they're planning a great big feast to celebrate. So of course he got embarrassed because his knobby knees were showing and his bald head was showing. And he felt so embarrassed that his head turned red, his cheeks turned red, and his little knobby knees started to turn red because he went head to toe embarrassed. And he didn't want to tell Creator that it was ugly, right? And he didn't want to be disrespectful, so he flew down and he was thinking, oh God, they're gonna have a feast. But then he came across this animal that happened to die days ago. And he says, I'm really hungry, but I don't want to go to that feast. So there he was pecking away at that kill that was dead for a few days. To this day, that's what you see Buzzard doing, because he does that out of the first buzzard that went out to Creator for clothing. So the teaching behind it is always don't try to be too greedy, and don't minimize what is given to you, because everything has a purpose. And Buzzard, he just needed that, I guess. It was a teaching to him, but it was also they wanted to honor him, so that's what birds ended up doing, pulling him into the group and telling him, we still honor you, you still went to Creator, you still got us the clothing. So he turned into a bigger bird, but he still had the markings of his shame, right? But that understanding that we all carry that shame, but we should also honor it. And that understanding that we get tools and stuff given to us, and we try to harness it. And Buzzard had to learn it the hard way, why he turned embarrassed head to toe, right? But he's a teacher. So that's how Buzzard came to be, how he looks today.
Yeah,
Pretty cool, Trish.
I was always using that term buzzard, but I got that nickname from the people that was around. What do you mean, you buzzard?
Did you want to go with what you had there?
I don't know if we can see that or not, eh?
Well, just Natasha or Victoria.
Can you see that? Victoria?
No, I can't see it.
She can't see it, so move it closer. Is that any better?
Not really.
It's a little better. I think it's the way the light is hitting the paper. Like if it could be tilted forward a little bit, I think we might be able to see it a little bit more.
I'm wondering, can you see it? I was looking at that, one doesn't make a difference.
How about now? Whoop.
A little bit, yeah, you can see it there, Ron. Here, I'll move. There you go.
Not
Yep.
too good, man.
There you go. Yep, can see it now. Okay, say something, Ron.
Hello? It have done on here, Monday. I don't know if we did.
There.
No, that light's still strong.
Oh, well.
You can see the left.
No, it's the light.
Right there, right there. Yep, can see it now. See the dog on?
Okay.
We have to color in the city a little bit more.
What is she Monday? Oh, get over there.
Wigwam.
Okay. Monday?
Okay.
Up again. Det var done on here. Ay, şu an başçı gelecek. Bu ne mamuk?
Looks like a family
Okay.
leaving their house.
Aha, when it's found in chicken.
Can't see that part of the screen.
Okay. Oh, sure, mama. The one done on here.
On the screen, can't see that part of the paper.
Okay.
It's like it's cutting off.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there. What's she got in her hands?
It's moved again.
Oh,
Baskets.
Can someone stand over on the other side of the paper and just wave like this?
oh,
Yeah, okay, there, now we can see it.
Right there.
okay, this one here. What has she got in her hands?
How do you say bag?
Baskets, right?
A bag.
Skimmet.
Skimmer.
Skimmet. Niche.
Niche skimmer.
When I give mama.
Well done.
No
That
one.
one. One this. When I give you.
Mikan.
Mikkel.
Okay.
When I see Monday. When is Monday?
Starting.
Stop.
No. Siba.
See that?
See the-
Oh,
Siba.
river.
River.
Siba.
When is she Monday? It comes at mall.
A bridge. How do you say bridge?
Anjali.
Anjali.
Me or the king got a job. I wish you Monday. When Monday.
What then?
Oh,
Oh, there.
Anishinaabemowin.
Odeto.
Ah, Neo. Vi som king with the Guinness out. You bought the when is she Monday? Could be then.
I don't, can't see it.
Oh, here, Jen. Put the.
Draw it in harder.
Can you see something? I see green.
Oh,
Mm.
I don't know what this is supposed to be.
House.
A house?
Just take something.
Village?
That'll pick you.
A wigwam?
We want.
We want
Yeah.
Peaky finger.
Say something again.
So that's where they went?
Hmm?
The family went?
Watch well.
it.
They went visiting. Yeah, beginning of off. Yeah, Mark Mama. Where is she, Mama? Got little spots on the back.
Gwam dizin.
Hey, one to zero.
Should have made it bigger.
Mhm.
It's cutting off on the screen is what it's doing. It's not showing the paper.
No?
Yeah.
No, it's cutting right off. Like we can see the paper, like a
Draw.
portion, but it's cutting it right off.
Take it.
This is when it would have been good for me to be there in person because I could fix that if I were there.
Anishinaabemowin. Come ook een pim mekaningo.
Turtle.
Chicken. Ja, ja.
Mhm.
Ja, maar give magic zit al. Wishmond.
What was
Oh,
it?
okay.
You can't see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually a little better when you're in person.
So just tell the story then, if we can't see it all.
Aha, mon pig. Kita ook mon pig dat ik. Mama nee. The parents, Gene, mama kwam. Nee, baskets bemoeden. Nou, daar waren we was wat. Hoe dat ook. Aan de mikat. Zie de man met denken. Maar de gaan aanzoeken. Ja, ik kom bezorgd, maar ik kom je wat. Voor de naam, hoe dat ook. Medium, nou. Dat betekent mama. Kita ook in en ook. Wat we daar. Mijn naam is man piano, man pangi medium. In wat het ook. Misschien wil ik je wat. Je ziet met de computer niet, niet na. Je ziet dat nooit. Je naar de moord. Ja, je maakt je bezwaar. Was het heel na bijvoorbeeld. En om te gaan, nog maar eens wat, maar met de mensen te keren en dan, je ziet niet op geen wat. Je bak wel, wist niet ook, ja. Maar dan in de kring, man, daar. Normaal geen, maar in de Anishinaabemowin. Die horen je stap in de man, ja. Waarom de man, maar zijn die garing ook. Je kent man, je king mooi, nee. Waar is het king?
Well, it kind of goes back to, we didn't have a written language, but we could tell stories, pictures, right? And you can still use the language, you can still hear it, you can still see it. So that was the whole idea of the exercise.
You can feel that when you draw the family, you can feel that house because you have a house. Sometimes you run out of food. So you grab that family together to go shopping. And then, of course, some people have means of having a car, so they get in the car and you move down the road. Follow that road. Eventually, they'll come to a little town, might have a grocery store or whatever, clothing. They stop there. Sometimes you pick up extra food for maybe there's some people that are unfortunate, maybe drop them, go visit them, see how they're doing. So we can give them some food and all that. Good talk, good relation. Then you go back home. Sometimes you run across a turtle crossing the road. So you help that turtle. So a lot of these things you can feel that you've witnessed these things. And you know how it feels to see these things, even when you see that wash fish alongside of the road. And then when you go back, you can actually smell the food before you even get to the house when mom's going to start cooking. So all these things. Barbara Nolan, there's no cause of this type of teaching, you need that in a group, in a big room, and then you start drawing, and then they're supposed to guess what that person is drawing, what they're doing, where they're going.
But everybody gets to tell a little story too. It doesn't have to be anything serious or just something fun, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you're picking up the language.
Mhm.
So that was the point of everything.
Well, I guess that's it. Janet says that's it.
Questions and answers.
What have you said? That's it. Is there any questions? Questions or something out there?
There are no hands raised and nothing in the chat.
Okay, that's good then.
No, just, doing the best we can. You know,
Yes.
We could do that next week, only we'll have to work on it.
Yeah, well, we'll do something a little different, a little bit better maybe, eh?
Mhm.
Yeah. Get a big magic marker. I think it's a light system the way it is.
Be nice if maybe
Huh?
the whiteboard, you know. How you,
Oh, smart board.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Or even the pictures out of a catalog, with a
Yeah.
picture of a town, picture of groceries, the family, the car. It doesn't have to be that story. It could be you're going out hunting,
Mhm.
or you could be out spooning. Or it could be out swimming. Eh? It could anything. Yeah. It was a good edition of Bagida'waad go. Me got you, me which one down in you. And then I could tell that story again that the old league in their time about that the 7 parts of growing. And better explained, I think. And there's confusions at times. So anyway, that's how things are. And that's the way things go. You can't change anybody's path or someone's path. But it was good about the tomatoes.
Mhm.
I like them fried with butter. Gets a wee little your cheeks going when you eat. So good there. Anyway, Jimmy, let's keep us in now.
Yes. Come up here, everybody. See you next Tuesday evening.
Copy.
Talk soon. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Bye-bye.